Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new playlist on here. Depending on when you watch this video, you could watch this video right at the end of the playlist or at the beginning. So the playlist is going to be called The 7 Deadly Sins, and this has been your idea, which you've been brewing on since summer,
Yeah, since before the summer, yeah. It's just all the 7 deadly sins. They're just so ingrained in our life, aren't they? And it's how do they impact us? How do they affect us? How do we cope with them?
Yeah,
as it were.
Do the seven deadly sins actually make us sinful? Were the 7 deadly sins used to control us? And the first one that we're going to be talking about today, I have had some wild downloads about. So let's just get into what are the 7 deadly sins. So I've got some notes here that I've written down. The 7 deadly sins, according to internet, are also known as the cardinal sins, are a classification of objectionable vices within the Christian teaching. They are considered capital because they are believed to be the original or root of many other sins and immoral behaviours. So basically the 7 deadly sins are the root of all sins. And apparently it starts off with pride, which is what we're going to start with today, because they say they are the powers that were that set this up, that pride is the root of all of these 7 deadly sins. And pride, according to the internet, is an excessive view of oneself without regard for others, often considered the root of all the other sins.
So what do they say? Pride before the fall.
Yeah, but I've got some wild downloads.
Go on.
This. So before we go any further, the decks, because we'll be talking about things, channeling things, but we're also going to be using 3 decks in this. The 3 decks that we'll be using are Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. Do you want to share your deck?
Oh, Earth Magic by Stephen D. Farmer.
And the Tarot deck, which is
Claire's favourite, one of mine.
Yeah.
The Old Style Tarot by Alexander Ray. So there we go.
So the downloads that I've had, I was thinking about pride. And I thought, have you ever said or had somebody say to you, you've no pride, you have. There's no pride, or they've got no pride in their life. They've got no pride in their work, in their relationships, in their body, in their outlook. And I was thinking about this. And I was thinking about when the church was at its most powerful. Pride, I think, is important. Because if you don't have pride in you, you can't give. If you're just going to slob about, you've got no pride. So if the powers that were at the time say to you, pride taken to the extreme, you're not going to have pride, because you're going to be scared to go to the extreme and be. I mean, back then they wouldn't have known about narcissism and been known as the narcissism of the day. Do you know what I mean? And it really, when I was making the tea, it really blew my mind a bit that how damaging that has been, and we're still seeing the repercussions of that today. What do you think, Gareth?
Yeah, obviously pushing pride too far, people
yeah.
become self-obsessed, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously you get your narcissists and all those kind of things. So, you do need to have that, be able to level up, as it were, to your greatest good and all that kind of stuff. So you need to have pride in what you do. Yeah. So it's all about being pride and doing the best that you can do. But you can't have, you can't, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't flaunt that to others. I'm the best. I'm the best tarot reader in the world.
God, no.
I am the best tarot reader in the world. Nobody else can come close. So you might as well not bother watching me and Claire, because I'm the best tarot reader in the world.
Yeah.
And they're not. We're not, because everybody's different.
I'm the best in, and these aren't my words, but you hear it a lot in other fields. I'm the best in my field, and I don't understand that it can be, but you do need pride. But does that not get us on to our next one? We're not going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about it in another video. We are going to talk about it today, but we are going to see it today. Is greed. That, you can have pride, but you don't need to be greedy with pride. Where you got to
That's where you're pushing it too far, because I think the 7 deadly sins kind of roll and intermingle with each other, and that's why I think everything starts with pride, and it's all about having pride in what you do, but don't flaunt it. Don't, you know, you can say, yes, advertise, I've got really good knowledge, you know, and that's it, but you can't just constantly rub it down people's noses that I'm the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah. Oh, someone that says, I take pride in my house. At what cost? So it's about finding the balance, isn't it? But take it back to what I was saying. When these sins were dropped, it could be very easy, especially we're talking about people that... We've just come back from Haworth, haven't we? And we were talking a lot in Haworth about lack of sanitation, water, food, how that would affect mental health. And we were talking about it privately and on videos. So if you're dealing with people that are not getting proper food, they've not got the intelligence, the emotional intelligence, they're living in scarcity, they're living in fear and death and disease. These 7 deadly sins dropping and not being able to channel them or discern them correctly, we are now seeing the repercussions of that from both angles, I think. From people that are going too far with it. Best tarot reader in the world. I've got the best house in the street because I clean it to an inch of its life. I've got the best garden in the street. I've got the best car in the street.
And we're coming up to the point, aren't we? I've your what you call it, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I've got the biggest set of lights in the street. My house flashes more than anybody else. I've got Santa's reindeers, all those kind of things. And my electrical meter's going like that.
But you find that you do something and then it will be copied and they want to take it to the next extreme. Talking about Christmas lights, like my dad in the 90s. Before, we didn't really, this was early 90s, we didn't really see many people putting lights outside. I remember in our street, he started doing ring of lights around each window. And each year it started living room, then it went to bedroom, then it went to little, then it went round the door, then it went round the awning. But after that, other people started, and it was one step. Every year it went one step further, one step further, one step further, one step further, and it's when pride isn't balanced, alchemized properly.
Yeah. Definitely. I think a lot of this stuff is all about balance, isn't it? Is that being at the right balance? And I think this is what possibly the deadly sins has been trying to tell you, rather than just saying, "Oh, just be balanced. Just be balanced with everything you do. Don't go to the extreme." You know what I mean? Don't be lack and not give a shit about your house and cleaning and all that kind of stuff. But don't go to the extreme where you're so prideful that everybody else thinks you're a dick.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't stop banging on about how good you are. You know what I mean? It's like you look at the YouTube and you say, "Oh, this is the best video since my last video, which was the best video since the last video." And it's like, yeah, you can have pride. Oh, this was a good video, but you can't keep saying every video is the one better than the last, because it just gets a bit ridiculous, doesn't it?
It's like with products as well. Every cream that's brought is the best cream. Well, that was the best cream. You've got to work out what the best cream is for you, what the best foundation is for you.
Yeah.
Let's pull a card each on just pride, the word pride, without any... So I'll put you pull from your oracle.
I'm going to pull from my oracle.
I've got another idea for the tarot deck.
He's the boss.
I'm not the boss.
I know, I'm joking.
Pride. What does my deck... So this is the Kyle Gray deck. What does my deck say about pride? One card. Shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. Okay, and at the bottom it says Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. So it's okay, it's more than okay to have pride. Shape-shifting is about being able to be two things at once, being able to mould into something else, to change into something else. It's okay to have pride, to think you are a good reader, a good artist or a good writer. But when you start saying, I'm the best writer, I'm the best tarot reader, you know, my book's better than anybody, then you've got trouble. Do you know what I mean? But also as well with pride and taking it into your life is you've got to have plans and to have focus to change your life. You do have to have pride in your life. You can't just... We were talking about this morning, manifestation and the dangers of manifestation. Because manifestation can be dangerous, you know. Really? Yeah. Because
Was I supposed to say that?
how it's portrayed is, if you just think of something, put it on your board, it'll appear. A lot of people teach that bullshit. You've got to get out there and do it. So if you think, I want to manifest my own baking business, you can't just make a board. We can make a board, that's part of it. Journal, that's part of it. Planning, that's part of it. But getting up off that sofa and getting out there is the biggest part of it.
Yeah, you've got to start, I don't know, start small. Start with a little shack or a little stall or, bake from home or whatever it is you do. It's baby steps, isn't it? You've got to baby steps your way to the final goal, which is a Michelin star restaurant or whatever it is, you know what I mean? But yeah.
You can't go from just being this to being the Michelin, you can't do it. And I think a lot of people at the minute, many people don't want the small steps. They don't want the small hut or the small kitchen business or they've got the big vision, which is great to have the vision, but you've got different steps because there's lessons to be learnt at each one of those steps.
Yeah, it's great to have that manifestation. I want to be a millionaire. And this time next year, Rodders will be millionaires. It's great to have that. But you need that first step. This time next week, I want to earn 100 quid. This time next month, I want to earn £3,000. This time, and you might even make it to £1 million after a year. You never know. It depends how good your business is. But it's all about those baby steps. And you've got to put the work in. There's only very few people that manage to get it out of luck, that they manage to fall upon something that's so fantastic and amazing that's not out there, that it happens. But a lot of the times those people disappear into obscurity because they might have done it and they might have done it out of luck, but it wasn't for their greatest good. And they've manifested it quickly, but then they've lost it just as quickly. And then it could be that that's a learning tool that you need to be able to grow your next business. And then your next business, because that's what a lot of people do, don't they? They go through crash and burn, build and crash and burn and then start again and build and crash and burn and then learn from all their mistakes of all their other businesses.
But it's all part of it, isn't it? And it's all part of the, you getting trolled is all part of it. There's a lot to be learned from trolls. They're amazing trolls. There's a lot they are, because they make you learn things. If you want to alchemize it, they make you learn things and make you see things. If your business fails, it makes you learn things. I think as well, stop fearing failure. Failure. Do the 7 deadly sins. I mean, is the failure in the 7 deadly sins?
There will be. There'll be something in
there.
Do
the 7 deadly sins need to be...
Is that not pride? Fear of failure? That's pride, isn't it? It's pride. I can't fail. I'm too good to fail. I'm too good at this. I'm too good a cake maker. I could go on Bake Off and I could win. You know what I mean? So if I went on Bake Off, I'd win. Why's my business failed? I'm too good. No, I don't even want to try because I'm scared of failure. So you're scared of losing your pride.
Yeah. To get to a point where, because we watch Bake Off, to get to a point, I personally, if I went on Bake Off, and you see people at first episode getting kicked out, but to me that's an amazing, the fact that you've even got onto Bake Off, that you've been deemed good enough to get onto, and once you're on Bake Off, there are so many people on Bake Off that then go off and do social media, and I find it's a lot of the people that don't win it that actually succeed. You hear about them. It's like what X Factor and Pop Idol and all that shit. It was the people that didn't win that you heard about, if that makes sense.
Again, a lot of those people they can pick and choose who their people are going to be. But a lot of the winners, like on X Factor, are stuck with Simon Cowell, and he might not know what's best for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you can't choose that because here you go. You've got a record contract. You've got to fulfil this record contract. You know what I mean? As a winner. It's the same with The Apprentice, you know what I mean? Where they've started merging companies. A lot of them haven't done well.
I think as well, we can get too prideful of our businesses and of our lives and about how we bring our children up, how we run our life. Because somebody could come in, I mean, you get a lot of constructive criticism. And actually, somebody saying, I liked that cake, but it could have been a little bit. Or I love your cafe, but it's too crowded. Or I love your cafe, but you could do some nice ambient music. Or I love your channel, but you could. If done proper, I think we shouldn't be scared to listen to what people... And that's something I am learning recently. In the early days, I really struggled with it. But I'm realising that actually, when somebody says, "Did you know you've not edited the?" I remember once. This was before you did the uploading. There was a problem with it, and many people watched it and didn't say, "Oh," but one person actually emailed me and said what the problem was. I think it was something, I don't know, and I was able to change it. Whereas if somebody that I'm not going to say up to her because she'll flip out and cry on video, then you're not going to be given that, and you're not going to be able to change. So somebody could say to you, actually, have you tried bringing your children up? That triggers people. How dare you tell me to bring my children up? But that could be the difference between life and death.
Yeah. And a lot of time people daren't say stuff like that to people because they're going to get that reaction, because they've got too much pride in what they're doing. And yeah, you should be prideful of bringing up your children. But you should also be open to sensible criticism or constructive criticism, because it's only going to help you. You could dismiss it very easily and go, "Oh, thank you very much for that. Thanks you for that advice. I'm not going to take that on, but it's really good advice," and move on, rather than flip out, "How dare you tell me how to take care of my children?" You could just say, "Look, that's really good advice. It might work for you, but I don't think it's going to work for us."
Yeah. How dare you tell me how to run my cafe, how to run my business? I've told you, been listening to Stephen Bartlett a lot recently, and about how he runs his businesses. And he said when he first started up, he wanted to tell people and guide people. He says, but now what he wants to happen is people coming with new ideas. It's not about, I want you to implement this in my business. I want you to tell me what you can implement. And I've worked in micromanaged structures and institutions where that was not allowed. You did what you were told. You couldn't go into a consultant and say, "Have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about working like this? Have you thought about..." You would have been blasted to kingdom come. You couldn't have gone to a senior nurse and say, "Have you thought about bringing this into the clinic?" I remember a couple of times I tried, I won't ever do it again.
No.
And honestly, and it could be if you were open and so secure in yourself, where someone said to you, I don't know, "Have you tried this?" that you were actually thank you for that, rather than criticising me. I'm a bad mum, I'm a bad parent, I'm a bad CEO, I'm a bad cafe owner, I'm a bad tarot reader.
It's so easy to go in the fear that you're not good enough. That you're not good enough. And yes, you've got to be prideful in what you do. Yeah, you've got to take pride in, your content or whatever it is you do. But you haven't got to be fearful of somebody saying, "I think you might have got that wrong." You know what I mean? We didn't make mistakes. I'm dyslexic. I'll make mistakes. There'll be spelling errors all through the description box unless Claire's looked at it for me. So yeah, these things happen, and I'm happy for people to say, "Oh, you spelt that wrong," and I'll take it on the chin and say, "Yeah, I know why I did it. Maybe I should try harder." Sometimes it misses. It is what it is. You try and take pride in what you do, and you try and do it best you can. I think it is all about a balance, isn't it? So you see what my card is.
Yeah, I was going to say, we didn't let Gary pull his card, did we? Go on, Gary, give us a pull.
You did see me shuffle these, so let's have a look. Ooh, karma.
Ooh.
So we've got karma there.
DNA karma.
So, what goes around comes around.
Is it in your DNA? Did you have a very prideful... Sorry, you should... See what I mean? So I'm not used to it. Go on, Gary.
So yeah.
What's that card saying to you?
I wasn't looking at the DNA bit, I was looking at the karma bit, and it's like, if you were too prideful, you might encounter somebody else that's too prideful, and that's where you end up butting heads with people, what I mean? And you don't get on with them because you're right, they're right, everybody's right, nobody wants to look at them. Look at, at the minute in America, Republicans and Democrats, they're banging heads. Labour and Reform or Conservatives, they're banging heads. They never want to work with each other. So in America, they're struggling with the system's shut down, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't understand American system, I've got to admit, but they have the overall system, what's it called? Federal system, federal system, and that gives all the money down to the local level, I think. But they've not got to give a budget, and they're refusing to give a budget, and they're fighting over what that money should be. And the whole everything's shutting down. All public services are shutting down, and just because the higher ups can't sit and talk sensibly and work out a sensible solution. for the greater good. You know what I mean? They're all looking at their own greatest of goods, and they're all being too prideful.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it could be in your DNA that you can be really prideful all the time, and you've got going to have to be the best. You know, you could be. I've been reading Richard II books, and he was a very good king, but he was, you know, he just wanted to fight. He just wanted to be the best king he should be. And it just kept him going in that front, and he just kept fighting and kept going on and on and on. And eventually he got killed in the most stupidest of ways with an arrow. Well, he was shooting arrows while they were doing a siege. And where he shouldn't have been there. It wasn't even a battle, it was a siege, and he was outside, they were inside, and he got shot by an arrow. And it's like, what a stupid way for a great king to die. You'd expect him to be dying in battle like Richard III, but it won't. But yeah.
But you think as well that still goes on today, where people won't listen to the next generation that could actually give wisdom. What's that one?
Stillness. Stillness, the lake.
What's mine? Oh, it's Shield made than mine.
So, this is where we need to take that time. We need to start thinking. When we start getting on to two prideful people coming together, butting heads, we need to be still. We need to listen to each other. We need to listen to each other. Yes, some people have got extreme views either side, and that's where we have problems, because those two people will not listen to each other. The people in the middle will, but the extremes will just not listen. And that's where we have the biggest problems. And if everybody drifts towards the extreme, we're going to have problems. And that's where they're too prideful to listen to the other point of view. Whatever you're looking at, whether you're looking at, you know, immigration,
Life,
whatever.
politics, love, work, family.
So the stillness, as I think, is you've got to take the time and listen. Listen to the other point of view. Listen to the comments. Listen to the constructive criticism.
I remember when, because my business, it was a very steady channel. This channel that you're on now, I think it just had just under 1,000, then it went to 1,000, and then it just went really quickly. And lots of bookings came in at the same time. I remember people getting quite shirty because I didn't have a booking system. And I took it personal. And I was like, no, I manually book people in, and I manually take payment via bank transfer, and I'm not going to change, and it got too much. And I thought, actually, they said, go and look at your competitors and see their websites. How dare you? But I did. And I actually thought, actually, they're right. When I book somewhere in, I don't want to have to email someone and say, what times have you got available? How do I pay? I want to go on, I want to book it myself in my own time. I want to pay it. I don't want to have to keep waiting. And all of that time that you're wasting. So I did get a booking system, and I listened, and it's the best thing I've ever done.
Stillness. Count to 10. If something triggers you, if a comment comes in, somebody says something to you, and it really triggers you, and it's like that cartoon, isn't it, with all steam coming out your ears and you turn red. You got to take that time to think, whoa, no, I'm not going to blow, because you might actually be right. A lot of time, constructive criticism is that. Some of the major awful trolls, it's just nasty. But sometimes, a lot of the time, the constructive criticism has got that errand of goodness in it. If you can see beyond your pride of your work and think, oh, well, this is my reading. How dare you tell me what's different? You know what I mean? How dare you tell me what's different? But everybody's got their own different interpretation of everything. And once you have that stillness, you can think about it and make the right decision, especially if it's in your DNA. If you've
inherited pride, you know what I mean, or lack of pride. You may have inherited a lack of pride. You may have had a mum or a dad that had no pride in their life. So you've inherited that. You may have gone the other way. If I will never let that happen to me, you've gone way to the extreme.
That tends to happen, doesn't it? Yeah, definitely.
Let's pull a tarot on the benefits of pride and the negative aspects. So when pride is balanced, healthy and wholesome, let's have a card. So King of Cups, being able to create, and we've got the Emperor at the bottom, being able to create but from the heart within harmony.
Well, it's full
being able
balance,
to
isn't it, as well, yeah.
your emotions. What happens when it's gone the extreme?
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Can't make that up,
I
can
know
you?
what happens when it goes to the extreme, so you've got too much pride. How does it
Pardon
impact
me.
you?
Burping on camera.
The Lovers. Yeah, look at that. That's I'll show you it in a minute, but the temptation of the apple, isn't it? And 8 of Wands, you're too much. And eventually that, what's the word? What's the story of Eve? Temptation. You will be brought down by your own craziness, your own. You won't be able
good,
to.
that, isn't it? Because I do like these cards because they give you that little bit more in there. Because normally you'd think, oh well, this is all about balance and all that kind of stuff.
It's temptation.
And it should be a good card for this. But it's got the picture of the snake. It's got the apple.
And it's the pride going like that, and she took allegedly, according to what the Bible says, and it destroyed the Garden of Eden. So you could have a life that is Eden, or an aspect of your life that is Eden. But if you just take that pridefulness too far, you can destroy Eden. It becomes narcissistic, it becomes toxic, it becomes dramatic.
It just came to me then, that card. I've got to say, I'm digressing, I've got to admit. But Eve brought to me Eleanor of Troy.
Eleanor of Troy.
Yeah. So she had an affair with a Greek. I think. Forgive me if I'm wrong. The Iliad. And no. She had an affair with somebody from Troy, I think. Something like that. She had an affair. So she was with the apple of greatness. And the Eden of Troy was destroyed.
Yeah. I don't know that story, but it could be a reincarnation.
Yeah, could be. It's a while since I've seen the one with Brad Pitt.
Should we have a pull on what happens when you have no pride?
Ooh.
So how does this impact your life, having no pride? So you've got no pride in your appearance, you've got no pride in your life, you're at rock bottom. How is this going to impact you? I knew this card had come out. 5 of Pentacles and Queen of Cups, indulgence, which goes on to our next one, which is going to be greed. It's lack, and that can send you... actually what I'm getting here, obviously that's the poor me energy. It's society owes me something. It's poor me, I'm out in the cold, my depression, my illness, my trauma, my pain.
I like to call it FOMO card.
Yeah, but also as well, that can take you the other way, where you go into greed and gluttony, and you go into pushing yourself too much or pushing others. So this leads on to, maybe they were right about it, leading on into the next ones. And you always stay in that perpetual being in prison. Everything's there that you need. It's always, that's what the 5 of Pentacles is about, part of it. Everything's there that they need, but they're so caught up in their shit and their situation, they can't see the wood for the trees. And with that, we will say...
Are we done?
Yeah, we're going to move on to the next one now in the playlist.
I'm quite proud of that one.
I liked that. Actually, good idea.
You don't get the...
What? Crap.
You see the wheels moving then?
Dickhead.
So yeah, that was good, that, wasn't it? Hopefully we've not left out.
No, I think that's fine. So we're going to move on to the next one, which is greed.
I'm hungry.
So we'll see the play. We'll see.
That's
on the
gluttony,
playlist.
though, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to catch up with the others, there'll be a playlist called 7 Deadly Sins.
Oh, if there's a certain sin that you're worried about, just click on the right sin, because they'll all be in a playlist.
Yes. Thanks for watching.
Soon.
Like, comment, share, hype, all of the good stuff.
Yep.
Subscribe.
Thank you very much for watching.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
See you later.